It was Friday night, and after a long week at work, I was heading to meet a friend at a bar just outside Toledo. There's this shortcut I always take to get home. Quicker, quieter, and it runs past an old cemetery that looks completely abandoned. Rusted fences, cracked gravestones, no lights around, just stillness and forgotten names, like a place left behind. Around 9 p.m., I drove past it on my way there, and as my headlights swept across the graveyard, I saw him, sitting on the ground in front of a headstone with his knees pulled up, arms wrapped tight, and a bunch of wilted flowers in his hands. He didn't move, not even a little. He never looked up or reacted to the lights, just sat there completely still, staring at the headstone. It didn't feel like grief, not really. It felt emptier, like he'd been there for hours or even longer. There was something about him that made me uneasy, though I couldn't say why. I got to the bar and had a couple of drinks. Nothing crazy. Just enough to relax and let the image slip from my mind for a while. On the way back around midnight, the town was quiet. The roads were empty, and that same shortcut was waiting for me. As I neared the cemetery again, I slowed down, not sure why. And there he was, still in the exact same spot, still holding the flowers. But this time, he had turned his head and was staring straight at me as I approached. I couldn't really see his face, but I felt his stare, like it went right through the windshield and into me. And the flowers, somehow they weren't wilted anymore. They looked fresh, like they'd just been picked minutes ago. That small change from old to new disturbed me more than I expected, and I didn't stop or look again. I just kept driving until the cemetery disappeared behind me. But even then, I felt like something was still watching. The next day, I couldn't shake the feeling, so I told my friend everything. He didn't laugh, just said we should go back during the day to check it out. So we did. Early afternoon with the sun high and no shadows in sight. We found the grave easily. There was a name on the stone, but I'm not going to repeat it here. What stood out was what came after. A single carved letter beneath the name, deep in the stone. Just a Z, rough and jagged, like it didn't belong. The rest of the headstone was smooth and old, but that Z looked newer, like it had been burned or forced in. Right in front of it, the dirt had two shallow impressions, knee marks, like someone had been there for hours without moving. Weeks went by, and I never used that shortcut again, until one night, the main road was closed, and I had no choice. As I approached the cemetery, I already felt it, the weight in my chest. I knew he would be there, and there he was, in the same place, in the same posture. But this time he looked in my direction and smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile, just slow and awkward, as if someone was claiming to remember how. I stepped on the gas and didn't slow down until I was miles away. I never went back, but I still remember that grave, the letter Z under his name, and sometimes late at night, I hear a voice whispering in my head,